Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Beacon House Podcast. And I'm here with your lovely co-host, Miss Grace Steele. Grace, how you doing?
Good.
And we're here again to talk to you guys. This is number 3.
It is.
3 and counting. We're knocking them out of the park, I feel like. The first 2 had incredible, tons of responses. And we're back now to entertain all of you.
I'm excited, ready to make you smile.
She's here. It's happening. So what's going on? What have you been up to there, Miss Grace?
The holidays, they were actually really good.
Yeah,
it was very
Thanksgiving.
stressful.
Thanksgiving went well.
Yeah, Thanksgiving went really well. I've been eating nonstop.
Same.
Still making leftover turkey sandwiches, which I could eat almost every day.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving leftovers are better even than Christmas leftovers. I don't know why, because my mom makes almost the exact same things. That's just something. It's just better. It just tastes better. Just like how character macaroni and cheese and dino nuggets taste better than the original form.
Chicken dinosaurs.
Dino nuggets, they're way better.
Bro, I think part of the Thanksgiving thing is the anticipation of the leftovers. Like, I really look forward to it. Like, I got up and I cooked the turkey and did all this stuff, but then I was like, dude, I can't wait to pack all this shit up. I'm going to eat. It's going to be good. And then, yeah, you do it. How long does it, let me ask you this, how long does it take for you to get sick of the leftovers? Do you make it all the way through, or like 4 days in, are you like, fuck this, I need a burrito?
I think as I've gotten older, since I don't live with my mom, like I just take leftovers home. So when I'm taking leftovers, I'm thinking about how many days do I want to eat this?
Oh, that's pretty smart.
As I've gotten older, I've processed that because I don't want to waste the food. And I used to just be like, give me all that green bean casserole.
That's what I was like, how much do you want? I'll be like, however much I can
carry. And then it's like in the middle of next week, I'm like, man, I'm really tired of this 4th plate of green bean casserole. Yeah. Even though it's one of my most favorite dishes my mom makes. So now I portion. I'm like, okay, this gets me 2 days, 3 days. I always go extra on the turkey because I make sandwiches too.
Yeah.
So good.
Turkey sandwiches are fantastic.
They're the best. So you had a good Thanksgiving?
I did. And I had so much turkey that I shared a ton of it with like the cats and everything outside. And something else came because I left a
possum, maybe
a raccoon. I carved the turkey up and I got all the good parts of it off, and then I left the main carcass with like a lot of the meat on it, and I just took the pan outside because I take care of 2 outside cats. They're like strays technically, but I make sure that they're fed, you know. And by the next morning, like the bones and everything were fucking gone.
Yeah. Raccoons probably totally can.
It might have been a fucking werewolf.
Ooh, I would love to. If we have one, I want to meet it. I'm trying to become a vampire or werewolf.
Vampire/werewolf?
No, like either or I could be both, like in the Underworld movie.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But either one
would be fine if you had to pick.
If I had to choose,
if you had to pick, which one and why?
Vampire.
Why?
Strength, sexy, live forever. They only come out at night and they wear black clothes.
Fucking A. Now, which era vampire would you be? Would you be like? I'll give you 4 choices. You can be like 1920s black and white, like Boris Karloff era fucking Dracula. You could be like classic, I don't know, like whatever the Bram Stoker's Dracula, like the from like the Renaissance Dracula, you know?
Like where, like what's that place? Like what he is, or where there's Keanu Reeves? And
yeah, that one.
Okay.
Or you could be like the 1980s fucking motorcycle gang Lost Boys vampires. Or you could be like the modern, like Twilight Glistening vampire.
Well, I'm going to live forever, so I'm going to be up to present date just like them. But I would probably go with Dracula. But you know, one of my absolute favorite 2 vampire movies is Interview with the Vampire with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
With Kirsten Dunst.
Yep.
Love that one.
It's really good.
It's an amazing, I would totally be that vampire. I can never forget about Underworld, but Queen of the Damned.
Oh, with Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my number 1 vampire movie. Right there.
Really?
Charlie Townsend with Aaliyah. Soundtrack kicks ass.
Soundtrack was fucking dope. Yeah. I remember Queen of the Damned was really, really good.
Really good. That would be me.
Was 30 Days of Night, that wasn't vampires, that was zombies, wasn't it? I remember 30 Days of Night and being like, oh, this is an interesting. Yeah, it's zombies.
No. 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
No, that was vampires.
Was it really?
Yeah.
And they were super fast.
Super fast. Came at night, destroyed. They were really badass.
Fucking A. Yeah, I remember that too.
Zombies absolutely terrify me, but I love any zombie film, video game, anything. World War Z zombies are the best. You will die. There's nothing you can do to stop that.
That's the best zombie.
Like what is it? The Night of the Living Dead. They actually start thinking.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter. These zombies are so dumb. It doesn't matter. They know you are on the other side of the wall. They're just gonna fucking climb the wall to get to you. They can hear you on the other side of the wall. They're gonna keep banging their head into that wall until they get through to get to you.
What else has been going on? You were telling a story about. So, like we affectionately called it crazy girl brain, which is a condition I believe some women experience, maybe some guys experience.
I think all humans do, but I think girls we're just wired.
You guys
that
have
way.
You guys have the trophy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to not say some of you men are insane.
That's true.
Like crazy. Some of the stuff that I've seen, I'm just like blows me out of the water. But yeah, women, we're just nuts.
Women confuse men a lot, I feel like, but men fuck the world up. Like most of the shit that's wrong in the world is because men have fucked it up.
It's probably because women, we control everything and y'all just fuck us up. And then we just fuck everything else up because as soon as that happens, we don't know what to do with ourselves.
Have you ever heard that theory that somewhere behind all of the great like world wars that there's actually a woman behind it somewhere?
Yeah.
Like wars historic, and I feel like I even heard a version of this. I can't cite my source, so don't take this to the bank or get mad in the comments. But I know that somebody explained it to me. Like there's historical documentation that a lot of the wars that were started somewhere along the lineage, like somebody was fighting over a girl, like a duchess or somebody, and
Cleopatra, I believe she was fought over.
Yeah.
War started for her.
Yeah, so maybe it's true. Maybe women are about, but it's definitely the men that carry out the stupid shit that wrecks the world on a regular basis. But tell us more about.
I'm so glad that you admit that for men.
I mean, you gotta come on. If you're admitting that women have crazy girl brain, I can at least admit that men do stupid shit. I mean, I see these trucks driving around. I see the guy in the parking garage with like the exhaust that's bigger than your fucking head, and like, what? Come on.
Hey, don't blame pollution on women. That's just their place stupidity.
Well, you guys definitely back in the 80s, you did a lot with hairspray. Let's just say that.
God, that is true.
Yeah, there's at least a big hole in the ozone because you guys had big hair, mall hair. Fucking. Anyway, tell us about crazy girl brain.
Crazy girl brain.
Didn't you experience this recently? I believe you were saying.
Recently,
putting you on the spot. Maybe not recently. At one point in your life, you were telling a story.
So there's this guy that I was seeing. We were just laying in bed, and he asks me just randomly, like I don't know what caused him to ask me this. Like I'm pretty sure we just got having a tickle fight or something. And then all of a sudden, like he just looks at me and he's like, "How many days do you think you could go without seeing me and you be okay?"
Which right there, I could tell by the look on your face. Like you literally look like a deer in headlights right now, even reciting the story.
I couldn't imagine. Like at first, I'm like,
"What?
Why are you asking me this?
Oh man,
why are you asking me this question?"
It's like you're looking. One of your eyes is like, is he reaching for his keys? Is he
like, what's happening right now?
Has he got one leg in his pants? What's going on here?
Like, why are you asking me this? This is a very strange question.
His hands on the door. What's happening?
And so I was like, we usually would go like 2 days without seeing each other. That's normal.
Yeah.
When you spend like a long weekend together.
Absolutely.
And then he's like, "You think you could go 3?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I can go 3." And he's 4. I'm like, 4 is pushing it. Like, tell me what's the dynamics of this situation? Like, are you in town? Are you leaving? Because he leaves a lot.
Yeah. He travels.
He would leave a lot for work or fun or whatever. And so, like, I've been trained to, like... Listen,
it's nice to know that Grace has been trained, folks.
I've been trained.
She's been well trained.
to like handle him being gone for long periods of time.
Right.
You know, as long as, and he's at least, well, you're talking to me every day. And it's like, well, yeah, but I'm not seeing you. There's a difference. But as long as I get to talk to him every day, you know, it was fine. But when he's asking me these questions, I was like, well, if it has nothing to do with work and you're not out of town and you're in town, why would that even happen? He's like, well, if it had to happen, I'm
Just,
like,
and to be fair, it's maybe not, even if you're dealing with crazy girl brain, it's maybe not a good idea to ask somebody some shit like that without giving context.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he does start giving some context, and he's like, well, you know, I leave on Sunday. We usually don't see each other Monday, Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Work calls me. I have to work, you know, Thursday and Friday, or I get sick, or I have to jump on a plane and go to work. And I'm like, well, why would that happen? Wait a minute. Why would that even be a thing? I don't understand.
You're fucking, it's going.
Like, I'm like, what is happening? And he's like, what about 5 days? I was like, no.
Crazy girl brain activated.
We're not doing 5 days with you in town and me not seeing you. I was like, that's just impossible. And he's like, hypothetically, what would happen? And I'd be like, of course, my mind's like, well, I guess I would just be sad. But in my mind, I'm like, that would never happen. That would never happen. What's happening? Why is he asking me this?
You're like, I will fucking find you. You're like, I know what your car looks like, motherfucker. I'll drive these.
Like, what's happening?
I'll drive these streets.
I got friends, motherfucker.
I'll put that shit on the internet.
I got friends on corner of corners.
I'll send a picture to the news. Should be on 5 o'clock.
Why would that even happen? And you know, and so I go. I'm like, you know, I could do 3 days. 4 days is pushing it. If it's an emergency, I understand 5, but let's not do this, you know. And so then the conversation changes. We go back to doing like whatever we're doing, and then he leaves. And then he leaves, and like 30 minutes after he leaves, like I'm like, you know, picking up after him and like, you know, the house and letting the dog out or doing whatever I'm doing, and my mind starts turning. I'm like, well, why did he ask me that question? Why did it need to be hypothetical? What's happening? Is he about to do that to me this week? Oh no. Is he preparing me? These are literally questions that are going through my mind that I'm asking myself, and I had to calm myself down because I wanted to text him and be like, hey. And
you almost texted, didn't you?
I did. I almost texted him.
Did you have some of it typed and you just didn't?
No. I wasn't that close, but I was thinking about it. Because it was like, because it just made me like be like, well, what was the point of that question? And you said something earlier that y'all aren't even thinking, like nothing is going on.
I always refer the famous Seinfeld thing where he asks the audience like that he explains men are very simple, and of course all the women they hear the women disagree. Oh no, and he goes, no, really, if you guys want to know what men are thinking, I'll tell you. And they all start clapping. He goes, okay, here it comes. Nothing. And they go, what? He goes, we're just walking around, looking around. And I heard that. I was like, that's true. If a man sees something, he goes, ooh. And he looks at you guys can't fully see him, but that's really our reaction to things. Like something cool goes by in front of us, ooh. And we notice it. Yeah.
Oh, it's red.
Yeah. Oh, it's loud. It's red. You know,
we like that. It's fast. Ooh, big boobs.
Simple. We're very simple. We're very simple like that. But a lot of women have trouble that it can't be that simple.
Yeah. So like in my mind, I'm sitting there. So I had to rationalize. I had to bring myself back down. I almost fell. I might have tripped a little bit, let myself think some things I shouldn't have. But I did. I didn't text him because I wanted to text him and be like, hey, so were you just like preparing me for something that's about to happen? And so that's why this was brought up. But
those are exactly the texts that men get that scare the fuck out of us. Like we don't understand what? What did she say?
Yeah.
And if we're driving, we just press the gas harder and just go further. We just get the fuck out of town.
So I knew better. I was like, I'm not sending that. Like, that's crazy. He probably meant nothing over it. He's probably just asking because he knows that I like him a lot. And he's probably just wondering how crazy, how girl crazy is this girl over me? What's the most I can do? Because we wouldn't go more than 3 days without seeing each other unless it was like something did happen or family's in town or he's going away for business. So
That's a weird question, it seems like, to come
But it
up.
was, but I caught myself. Like, I caught crazy girl brain. And it was like, we're not going down this tunnel, Grace. We're not doing it. That's a little toxic.
But that at least you caught it and you recognize. I feel like a lot of people, possibly people that are younger than you that don't have as much experience, kind of like, I think they get crazy girl brain and then they like don't know what to do with it, and so it just runs wild. Like,
well, yeah, but also in my mind, like how he would treat me, things he would say, our relationship. It's really easy for in that moment of crazy girl brain to get caught up in just the things that they say.
Right.
To be like, why are they doing this? What's going to happen? They're going to leave me, blah, blah, blah. But then to rationalize it and to come back down, you're like, wait a minute.
and now guys are also guilty of that too. Like, guys will read into stuff like that. That's not strictly something that women do. Like men oftentimes will read into stuff. And again, we've even talked about this since we've been doing the show. Like, that's how important it is to have like clear communication.
Yeah. Trusting your partner, like picking
Yeah.
up on it.
Or
it's not just
even
communication, but it's also comprehension. Like, I know him. I knew what he meant. I knew his way of showing me that he cared. And if I acted on that one response, crazy girl brain, and sent him that text message, it's basically like I'm wiping out what he has shown me of what he cares.
Sure.
You know, in his mind, he could be like, why is she doing that? Like, I literally just did this and this and this. She should know, like, she's the one that I'm with. Like,
Yeah.
she's the one that I fuck with.
Yeah, totally.
Why is she doing that? And it's important to catch yourself and to remember who your partner is and not overthink things and to make them into things that they aren't.
And I will tell you, that's like, everybody stop and rewind that. Listen to that again, what she just said, because I've been down that road before. I've been with somebody who I did not know was a very insecure person, and then come to find out that they really, really, really were. And then all of a sudden, like, I was getting blasted with all of these like accusations, or just like, I felt like I couldn't be trusted. And one of my big things is like, I've not ever cheated on anybody. Like, I've always been like pretty straight up. I didn't always, if I didn't want to date somebody, I would tell them, but I would be straight about it. I wouldn't be like going behind their back, doing shady stuff.
I hate that. And ghosting, ugh.
Not
if
that
you
easy.
ghost people, you're scum. Like, we won't even be friends if I know that you've just like ghosted
dude.
somebody. That is trash.
I've always been real upfront about everything, and been very upfront about like, look, like giving people every reason to trust me. But then some people just project. You ever hear about projecting your insecurities?
Yeah.
Sometimes if people have like I had one relationship where, again, the person was like always kind of projecting on me, and I was like, why are you being so like they didn't want me to have like friends that were girls, or they were weird about my relationships,
I hate
my
that.
platonic relationships with girls like you or other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you being like this? Like, I've never even given you like any reason to feel weird about this. I've always introduced you, I bring you into the fold, introduce you to my friends, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I talk about you when I'm around them, and like, it's very clear, like, I'm taken. And like, and it come to find out, she was actually the one that was cheating down the road. So it's one of these things where
She probably did if she was that insecure. One thing is like they do it before you do it, or they do it to self-sabotage
yeah.
because they know like something's going to end. And that person just needs therapy.
Yeah.
Which all for. I'm not knocking. People need therapy. I go to therapy. Everyone needs it. I think it's healthy. Even if you think you don't need it, then you're the person that needs therapy.
Damn right. Absolutely. But it's weird how some people will project their own thing on you. Mm-hmm. So that might be something to look out for. If you're out there, if you're dating, if you're going in and out of relationships, if you're trying things out, if there's, every relationship, once you get in, there's kind of a push and pull till you figure out the dynamic.
Right.
And if some of what you're figuring out is a lot of people projecting or blaming or accusing or whatever, that might be an indication that that's some shit in their closet.
Exactly.
So be careful and try to have honest communication, I guess.
Communication and comprehension.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and don't be prideful. Pride ruins a lot of relationships.
Indeed.
100%.
It really does.
Like say y'all are in a fight, you and your girlfriend or whoever, your significant other, even if it's just like a friendship and you're mad, but you want to tell them like, hey, like I know I fucked up too.
Yeah.
I don't want us to end, or let's not fight anymore. But you don't say anything because you're too goddamn prideful.
Bullheaded like a fucker.
To be like, hey, I love you. Hey, you know what? I fucked up. You're right. Like, I did something also, and I fucked this shit up.
And that's huge.
And the fact that, and a lot of people don't go back and say it. Because if you do say it, probably 90% of the time that problem will be fixed. Y'all will communicate. You'll resolve the issue. You'll be on a better plane. You know, maybe your relationship will move a little bit further on understanding one another. And you're not in this predicament of being like, you know, I don't know.
You guys know what she's talking about. That's not just a squeaky door. That was Grace Steele showing you what it's like. No, but I tell you, you're right about not being prideful, because if you're prideful in your argument, if you start getting your head up and like you're really, really mad and you feel like you're out for, and I've done this. I've been real bullheaded before. I can be really, really stubborn. I do it accidentally. I don't do it deliberately, and I have to think my way out of it. But because I know better. But the only way out of like a big argument is an apology. Mm-hmm. At some point, you have to stop.
Whether you feel like you're wrong or right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Say, I'm sorry that, like, because you don't have to apologize. Like, you could be arguing about something that you know you're right about. If it's not somebody you're willing to, like, go, like, if you're not willing to, like, separate with them and never talk to them again, if you don't really care about ever seeing them again, say whatever the fuck you want. But if you want to preserve any amount of the relationship, you've got to back down. And you don't necessarily have to go, you don't have to lie and go, oh, okay, I was wrong, because maybe you weren't. But don't make it about who's right and wrong.
Yeah, don't make it about that. Just be like, I'm sorry this is happening. I don't want this happening between me and you. I don't want to lose you. I don't want you angry at me. I don't want to be angry at you.
And I'm sorry for my tone. I'm sorry the way that I said that. I got a little hot. You can apologize for the situation without apologizing for
how can we work this out?
Exactly. Or can you help me understand your side of it a little better? Obviously, you feel really strongly about this. I didn't understand. Let's talk about it. Let's work it out. And I'll promise to be a good listener. If you care about somebody, you got to be able to do that.
You're going to do that. You're going to lower yourself.
Yeah.
And
you're not going to feel like you've lost.
Lower, because you're not lowering yourself. You're not lowering your standards or your self-worth.
But you lower your defenses.
Yeah, you're lowering your defense. You're taking yourself off the pedestal that you have placed your dumbass on.
Big, giant nuts up
and
on.
You're coming down and you're being like, yo, I am so prideful.
Put your dick back in your pants.
Yeah. And
Zipping
your dick probably ain't that big. So go ahead and put that shit back in, that little peanut.
The peanut.
Whatever that peanut is.
That's a good one, by the way. If you're in an argument, if somebody's arguing with you, go, hey, put that peanut away.
And I will say, like, I mean, everyone has their faults. I would say, when I get in a fight and I know someone's being prideful, like, I am the first one to grab a needle and just bust your bubble, like, right there. Like, you're being prideful, like,
exactly.
Telling them how it is. And that's not always the best way either, but I can't stand it because it's like, I know you want to fix it, but you're just...
You got to get, you feel like you're not being heard, or again,
we're not 7 years old anymore where our parents told us not to do something and we did it anyways, but we have to keep fighting that we were better.
You've got to find a reason to like, to apologize. And I'll tell you another thing too, or to just find common ground. You got to ask, if you start to argue with somebody or even just have like a debate, you need to really at least ask yourself, why am I in this? What am I doing? Like, what am I trying to accomplish? Am I just mad and I just want to hurt somebody? Am I lashing out emotionally without any real reason? Like, is there a map here? Like, where the fuck are we going with this? If you don't have those thoughts, then you shouldn't engage with people until you've had some time to think about it. And you can do that shit on your own. Like, you could spend some time tomorrow afternoon with a cup of tea thinking like, damn, man, the next fucking time somebody argues with me, I'm really going to try to like back off, listen to what they're saying, not discredit their feelings. Somebody taught me that recently. They were like, even if you know somebody's wrong about something, they're confused, or you're trying to explain something they don't understand, immediately wiping their feelings off the table is the worst way to accomplish anything. Like, you have to at least acknowledge that they're having an experience.
Yeah.
Like, why are you upset? Or tell me how you feel. Or
like
something.
My therapist always told me that I am not responsible for how someone feels, but I can acknowledge on how they feel.
Right.
And understand it. She always told me, she always says, Grace, if you walk into a room and you decide to sit down at Thanksgiving dinner and not in a public place because this will be illegal, and you want to take your shirt off. You are not responsible for how someone else reacts. How they react in their feelings is not your fault.
And on that knowledge, I feel like a lot more women should go topless more often.
Maybe.
It's not your all's fault. Just do what you like.
You know? You are not responsible on how they feel. They are responsible for their feelings and their actions.
Yeah, and another thing too, there's a book, and I don't know if you've read it or not. It's a good one to discuss every now and then. It's called The Four Agreements. And I was actually gifted this book by my dear friend Jessica Clowers, and hopefully we'll have her on the show. She's phenomenal. She used to be the vet tech for Ringling Brothers, so she took care of the elephants and shit. Yeah,
that's exciting.
She's worked at
I have so many questions.
Oh, dude, she's a boss.
I love elephants.
And she's super cool. But she gave me this book, and it's basically just 4 things, and like it's just 4 real solid rules to just like apply to your life that makes shit a lot easier. But one of them is you have to understand that the way people treat you is not because of you, it's because of them. Mm-hmm. People are tied up in their own feelings. And so that kind of helps you from reacting. Like I'm bad about reacting. I'm pretty like easygoing, but if somebody like starts talking shit, I get fucking fired. I'm gonna go, what the fuck did you fucking say? You know, which is stupid.
Ooh, he just got a little scary.
No,
right
but
there.
I'm not like that macho guy. You know, I'm a thinker, and I'm like I'm not that guy. But also like, I stand up for myself too. So you have to know when to like the thing.
Let me just lay this. I think women are equal to men. We do everything better than all of y'all. Okay. But when you are out and you do have a friend who's a female and y'all are hanging out, we do get hit on more.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I don't know. I mean, no, I'm kidding. Yes.
We do. And we get a lot of douchebags.
Yeah.
You know, just like when we talked
like in the last story.
Last story. It is important when you are a male friend out with your friends who are females to, even though the woman can, I know for a fact I can stand up for myself and tell someone if he's annoying me to leave, but it's good for you to have your eye on her.
Sure.
And knowing, whoa, who the fuck is that?
Well, you guys are also, you guys are
important.
very capable also of like pulling your own chair out, opening your own door, all that. But it doesn't mean that it's not polite to do it.
Right.
Like I think it's okay if you're exercising manners. It's not that you can't tell the guy to go fuck off, but if we can go, hey man, why don't you get the fuck out of here and leave her alone? It saves you for the trouble of having to do it.
Yes. And it's emotional when we have to do it because it's just like, man, we don't like, come on, like pick up on the other signals that we're giving, but you know.
See, for us, it's not. We're just, hey dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
We're with them. Get the fuck out of here. Go find somebody else.
Now there's times where I'm just not in the mood. I'm like, dude, get the fuck away from me. And I do it for my friends when we're out.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like my friend will come up to me and be like, this dude will not leave me alone. And I'm like, I immediately ask which one. It's always the
Here
one.
comes fucking Grace Steel.
It's always the one who's like trucking up right behind him, like, and I'm just like, okay, I got it.
Oh man, I can't wait to see this one. Oh
like,
man,
let me just step in the middle and just save you the trouble.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Mm-hmm. People treat you the way you teach them to treat you. So like that even goes in like situations when you're around a bunch of strangers. Like you have to have like some kind of a spatial awareness. Like, who's this fucking guy creeping up over here? What's going on? I mean, most of the time it's just somebody that's drunk and trying to score, and you can't fault them that bad. We've talked about letting people down easy, whatever. But sometimes it might be a little more. It could potentially be danger. Just know what's going on around you, you know. But like
100%. I know. I've probably this year, and that I'm not quoting. I haven't made a police report. I'm not doing because I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure I've been. Someone has roofied me at least twice this year.
Jesus, that's fucking scary.
Yeah. And and it's terrifying because I feel like I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
To what's happening.
Yeah. But man, it's dude. There's.
But now, like I remember, I'm like, oh, I did let him buy me a drink, and I didn't go to the bar with him when he bought it. I let him bring it to me.
Or you just turned your head.
There's
for a
that
second.
moment, right? Or I just turned my head for a second, or you know, whatever it is.
I've seen videos recently where, like, and I've always thought, like, dude, I'm usually holding my drink, or it's sitting right in front of me. There's no way somebody could slip something in my drink, but I've seen videos recently. There's actually a lot of TikTok videos and stuff with guys going like, this is how easy it is to like slip a roofie in somebody's drink. And literally it could be like somebody calls them, hey, what's up? And they turn their head, boom, and it's in there.
This shit is dangerous.
Yeah, man.
That's why, I mean, and I know it happens to men too being roofied, but not as much.
No, not as much. And more, I think a lot of times for dudes, it's more of like a grudge move. Like I know, I've heard stories about guys that'll roofie a guy because they're mad at him.
And you suck as a person.
You know, a friend of mine, I saw on social media this week, a buddy of mine who's a producer, He produces a lot of good bands, man. He's produced everybody from like All Time Low to like Papa Roach to he's fucking from Knoxville. Shout out Colin. But he posted a thing on his social media this week, and he said, "You know what? Nobody that's doing better than me has ever talked shit about me or like punched down at me. It's only the people that like are jealous or envious or whatever like that. But generally, the people who are like really on top of their shit, they don't punch down on people. If somebody's really, really trying to drag your name through the mud or fuck me, they're usually not doing as well as you. They're looking up at you, not down.
Or they're just psychos.
Yeah, they have crazy girl brain.
Yeah.
So it's crazy psycho girl brain.
Psycho. Because let me tell you, I might have crazy girl brain, right? And I'm not perfect because I do. There's be times where you see me and you're like, there's no way Grace is crazy. She don't give a fuck about nothing. She don't care about that dude. She don't care about money.
Well,
she
the
don't
night
do
I
that.
met you, I would have thought that the night I met you. But then I think, and not that you've acted any, you still act like that.
I acted crazy?
No, you act cool as fuck.
Okay.
But I know because, again...
stories I've told you.
No, because I've been in relationships when, in fact, one of the last people I dated, I was like, bro, she's so fucking chill. She's funny, never gets bent out of shape. She's cool as shit. Like, this is it, the perfect girl. Like, I was like, oh my God. And we were out to dinner one time. And so I decided, I'm going to tell her all this stuff. I'm like, bro, what I appreciate about you is you're totally not girl crazy at all. Like, you're chill as fuck. You don't get jealous. Like, literally from that fucking moment, like, something in her eyes changed. And I was sitting across from her I think we were eating Mexican, and I was like, what's wrong? And she looked at me, but all of a sudden she looked at me like fucking serious. And she was rarely serious. She was really funny. And like double over laughing funny, crazy funny. And I was like, she goes, oh, I'm girl crazy. And I was like, but there was no there's no laughter on her end. Like, I expect her to break.
I'm relating to her right now, and I don't even know who this is.
I expected like her to break into a smile, like, haha, oh, I'm just playing, I got you. But it didn't. She like
your face. You just got so scared. You're just like, no.
This is the face I made. I made this face that night. That night I did this. I slowly laid my fork down, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "Yeah, I just want you to know." Like,
how many days after this was it? Or was this during the conversation?
Yeah,
same conversation?
Sitting at the table. She goes, "Oh, I'm girl crazy," and I went, "No, you're not. You're funny.
No, you're funny.
You're funny."
Did you pick your fork back up and just keep eating?
I started eating, and I looked, and she just like quietly started eating, and the fucking rest of the night, and maybe the relationship was weird, but after that, like after she said it, she started to show it, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was weird.
I guess you telling her that, she like realized how much she liked you, because that's what happens.
Fuck, I don't
Our
know.
girl crazy comes out when we catch feelings for you. Dude, y'all are fucked when we fall in love. Y'all are fucked. So I'll be completely fine one moment with you sleeping.
When you guys decide you like us, that's when it should be all like candy and roses and puppies and like.
It is.
No, that's when you guys fucking go nuts.
No, it is.
Like, up until you guys are like, okay, I'll stay, I don't mind. Until you guys are like that, fucking. Like, when we're like, bro, I don't know if she's like into me or not. Like, I gotta go see her at work tonight. Like, should I take flowers? I'm gonna take flowers. Like, again, we're just like, oh, like, we don't know. Oh, it's a YouTube video. What do you do? How do you talk to a girl? I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna go. She's over there. Here I go. I'm just gonna go. That's why we sound so stupid, is we don't think anything out. We just go. But eventually, if you guys go, okay, I don't mind, and we're like, oh, sweet. That's when right there it should be just like.
I don't know. I feel like the sex gets better. 100%. For me.
The sex definitely gets better the longer it goes on, I think.
We start cooking more.
Oh, when you guys cook?
We'll start doing your laundry.
Now, I've never asked anybody to do none of my laundry. That's
no. We will offer. You be leaving clothes at our house. We be washing your clothes for you.
I did have a girl that's lived with me for a little while, and she did do some of the laundry, and I was like, yo, you don't have to do that. She's like, I don't mind. And I folded and organized it.
And the thing is we don't do it to like hold it over your head later. These are just because we want to.
Yeah.
But as soon as y'all's brains that aren't thinking say some shit like, hey, how long do you think you could go without seeing me before it becomes a problem? As soon as you ask us that question, our brain is like, why is he asking me this? What's happening right now? Is he preparing to not see me for a week? Do I need to be prepared? Do we need to have sex a few more times before he goes?
Do I need to have sex right now?
Like,
Does he
what's
need sex?
happening? Like, I don't know. Not does he need sex? Do I need sex?
Or like, do I need to have sex with him because he's getting all stupid? I need to have sex with him. Men are confused when they don't have sex.
What's happening right now? Do I need to like be like, oh, you're leaving? Okay, well, what do I do? Let me fix this.
Pretty soon,
know.
the clothes are coming back out of the hamper. They're going in the front yard. Fucking.
Oh no, that's evil. No, I feel like things they get better. It's it all goes back to trusting your partner, communication, comprehending what they're saying, processing it, understanding your partner, not being selfish and being like, this is what I need. What do they need? Who are they? To be able to like come together and crazy girl brain doesn't happen.
Have you got any friends or couples that have been through this like crazy breakup? Like I've had some friends that had some pretty fiery shit. One of my favorites, I'll tell you a quick story and then we can trade stories, but like I still have a buddy named John Lumen. And back in the day when we were like young bros, we were probably like 20 or 21. We all like lived together. We were like, he dated this girl and they had the fiery, like they shouldn't have, but they were super toxic, but super passionate. Have you ever seen a couple like that like shouldn't be together, but fuck, it's hot when they are. Like they're so hot for each other, but they like act like they can't stand each other. Mm-hmm. Like they're totally not compatible, but except for the sex. Like it's like there's a dial. There's like domestic compatibility, sexual compatibility, and you kind of want both. But if you don't have any of one and only the other, it's bad news. So they were totally sexually compatible, but they fought like fucking cats and dogs. And one time he was staying with us, and this is back in the day when like you had multiple phones, like landlines, and other people could pick a phone up and hear the conversation. Yeah. So me and my buddy were in the other room, like listening to him fight with this girl, He told us to. He goes, listen to this shit. So we go pick the phone up, and they're going back and forth, and none of it makes any sense. It's totally illogical.
It never does. It never makes any sense.
Well, finally, she pushes his buttons to the point where he just goes, fuck you, I never want to see you again. And he hangs up, and so we hang up. We come in the other room and go, dude, we're ready to start administering care. Dude, are you okay? Are you okay? He goes, you know what? I told her I'm never going to talk to her again, and I meant it. And then he goes, and I'm going to call her right now and tell her that. And we were like, oh, and it just started back over. And he literally picked the phone up, got back into it with her. We just left and went to Waffle House.
Her.
Oh, he did.
He loved her.
He did.
He loved her. That's what happens. Y'all fall in love without realizing that you're going to. It just happens. Like y'all aren't planning on it.
How do you plan? Do you guys plan out love? Do you see a guy and go, I'm going to fall in love with that guy?
I'm sure some girls do. I don't.
I feel like for guys, at least for me, a lot of times you just know somebody, and then one day you just kind of go, oh shit, I'm in love with them. And you feel like, oh fuck.
I hate that feeling.
Like you just figured out you're an alcoholic, you go, oh shit.
Yes, I have experienced this not recently, but recently. And it's terrifying.
It's like that dream
I'm terrified. Like 1 minute I'm okay with him sleeping with other women and I'm sleeping with other people. And then all of a sudden it's like I wake up and I'm like, fuck. Damn it.
The sound of love. Fuck.
How did this happen? What am I going to do?
It's like that dream. You have that dream, a lot of people when you're little and you wake up and you're just like in public, but you don't have any clothes on. Mm-hmm. Like you're in class or you're on the bus or something. You just go, oh, fuck. And nobody knows and you hope nobody sees.
I've actually never had a dream like that.
I had that dream a lot.
A lot of people have, but I've never had a dream where I'm naked in front of people.
I had a dream where I somehow went to school with no clothes on. And then all of a sudden realized it halfway through the day, and I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna. And I'm thinking, how can I get out of here with nobody seeing me? Like just like nobody had looked at me yet.
Everyone's already seen your dingling, Spence.
It's true. It's on the internet, but it's not. Maybe it is. I hope it's not. But
Ooh,
if it is,
check Pornhub later?
If it is, fuck it. Have fun. It's not very remarkable, but it'll fucking kill you. Anyway, but like
deep throat me, bitch.
Yeah, dude. Fucking, but. Like that's how it is when you realize you love you. You go, oh shit, I've got feelings for somebody. Like I'm fucked up over him, Because
this isn't something that plans. It literally hits you like a fucking bus. I don't know. It's for me like it's.
I actually
hits me like a fucking bus.
I actually enjoy it a lot. I enjoy the feeling of, and this sounds super soft, but I really enjoy the feeling. Shut up. Listen. No, look. I enjoy the feeling of falling in love. like in that, like that, you go through that little period that I guess the crush period when you're crushing on somebody real hard, and like every song is about them, and you're like singing in the car, and it's a song about both.
Please put a bullet in my head right now.
Yeah, shit.
Can I choose a Magnum? Can I please?
I do it, dude.
Put a bullet through my head.
Yes,
I get. Yeah,
I was
every
raised
song.
on these fucking like romantic movie. I grew up in the '80s with rom-coms. That was my instruction, man. It was the whole say anything where he's holding the fucking radio up, you know. I was like, I'm supposed to act that way, you know.
My heart.
Ugh.
Please. One of the things is I just want someone to love me how Adam Sandler loves Drew Barrymore in 51st Dates.
Oh man.
Please,
that's a good one.
I just want that. Just the way he looks at her. He does it every day. He does another tape for her to understand. And at the end of it, they're on a sailboat and they have 2 kids and everything's okay. And I'm like, he made it work. It's possible, men. You can do that. You can do that, men, for us, for your ladies.
What would you say right now if you had to give the guys, and I know this is kind of a loaded question, but if you give our guy listeners who are paying attention, I'm getting text, they're taking notes on you, Grace Steele. You could be saving a lot of women some heartache by your advice you give on this podcast. So you don't have to think about it too much. But if you had to give our male listeners like one bit of advice on how they could be more thoughtful or charming or accommodating to their significant other or potential significant, what should they do? Stop doing the ooh, what's that?
Yeah,
ooh.
Please stop doing that.
Stop being a caveman.
Please stop just thinking. That is a loaded question because there's also so many different circumstances. I would say
if you had to just boil it down into a big broad, like it doesn't have to be specific, but what's one area that you find most men are really lacking in that causes girls to get crazy girl brain?
If you care about her, just say it. If you love her, just say it. If you want her, just say it.
She looks so fucking serious right now.
I'm dead serious. I don't understand. I honestly don't understand why it is such a hassle. It's like we have to drag it out of you to just say it. Just say it.
Just to say I love you.
No, you don't even have to say I love you. Just be like, I want you. I care about you. Like, look them dead in the eyes. Don't text it. Don't call it. When you're kissing them goodbye or you're laying in bed after y'all just had sex. Or
look them right in the eyes.
Look them right in the eyes and just be like, hey, you're my person. Or, hey, I care about you.
Oh, I think that's really sweet.
I think it's
not hard to do.
It's really not that. It goes back to pride.
Oh.
It goes back to like that it feels gross.
Like you're giving something
you're being
up.
too vulnerable. Yeah, just say it. Just say it. Do you know how much if my dude had said that to me when he had left after he was like, how many days do you think you could go without seeing me? And he looked at me and was like, you're my person, or I have so much fun with you. Like, you know, or even just being like, all I've wanted for these years was just this. Crazy brain wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't even been a thing. I would have immediately just been like, bet.
Fucking
I got it. We're done. I don't even need to see you. Now I don't need to see you for 3 days.
You got 6 days, motherfucker.
Yeah, you got it. Is that what you need? Okay. Just bring that energy back.
Hey, that's good advice. That's really good advice. I hope people are listening to that too. To fucking tell your significant other how important they are. Yeah, there's a lot of I've heard different versions of that, like down through the years. Like I remember when I was young, there was a Billy Joel song called "Tell Her About It," and all the lyrics are just about like how many like. There's a lyric where he says like take it from me, like a guy that's made mistakes. Like the whatever the word or two that she gets from you could be the difference that it makes. Just like little stuff like that. Yeah, man. I don't know if I'm still single, so I must not be that good at it. But I feel like I've done that somewhat. But I definitely know guys that have trouble with that. I know guys that are fucking like they feel like by giving something emotional out like that they're somehow losing something, and which is weird. That makes them feel weak to say things like
it's just an insecurity there.
Yeah, I guess so. I've always told people that like when you can be a little emotional, that actually takes more balls than it does to act all tough or whatever like that. It takes a lot of
when I see a man starting to drop his guard.
Yeah.
And do you think that's when I know they fell in love with Grace Steele?
Oh, shit. You must see it a lot. I bet you see it a lot.
I don't.
Oh, come on.
Are you kidding me? No, I have the worst luck in relationships.
Oh, that's tiring because you're awesome,
Well, thank you.
if I may say.
I don't want to say like
I'm a pretty good judge of character.
Like, of course, like I can date, and there's like, but dealing with my own feelings is difficult, and then trying to navigate someone else's emotions and characteristics and personalities as well as mine, it can get a little tricky.
Well, man, I just in the brief time that I've known you, like I would say in your case, and I've had people tell me this. I've never thought this about myself, but I've had people just down through the year when I was like, I had another one in, like another 4-year relationship. Oh, fuck, I thought she was the one. Blah, blah, blah. But I've had people say things like this to me, which I immediately discarded because I don't want to feel like this. But in your case, you probably maybe just haven't come across your match, like your equal. I think you're maybe out of a lot of people's league. Because you kind of got all this stuff. You're very smart. You're very attractive.
Yeah,
you're
you
funny.
see this, but the ones that I want, those.
Well, same. I'm like, bro, I'm pretty. Like, I've got friends that go. Like, do you know how many like married friends I have that go?
Oh, Spencer, that's so sweet of you.
They go,
Thank
oh
you.
my gosh. They go, I would give any. Like, you know what? If I wasn't married, I'd be looking for a guy just like you. And I go, well, that's not fucking helping me out, is it? Thanks for the compliment, dick face. You got any single friends? But like, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had people go, you just haven't met a woman that's like you're equal yet. Blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't really know what the fuck that means, but like
at almost 34, and if I haven't met my equal, I don't know if he's coming. I got toys. I like going to the sex shop.
Bro,
I plan on going. I wanted to go today, but
I've encouraged people. You need to have a device, like for women.
Have multiple devices.
Yeah.
You need one that hits the G spot, the clitoris, different speed modes. If you're into anal, you get one that can go into anal.
Do you like the ones that do the where you control it from your phone or whatever? It's like the remote control thing.
I have not yet used that.
Do you have one with an option?
I wanted to use it with somebody, but then he told me that he had 2 apps on his phone for those devices, and I was like, I don't feel like being another app on your phone, so we're not doing that.
Fucking zing.
I was like, I'm good.
Have you seen the videos where like the guy and the girl they go out in public and she's wearing it and he has the controller?
That's what I want. Yeah.
And like they go in all these like there was one YouTube video where this guy like they went to pick his mom up.
That's evil.
Bro, she was driving and he was like sitting in the passenger seat, and his mom, who she's kind of nervous around but not terrible, his mom's just like, oh, and she's like super Jewish or whatever. And they're driving to like, I think it was a holiday, like Christmas or something. And he's totally fucking like, and the girl, she's trying to drive and she's like, fucking stop it. Yeah. And the mom's like, Lord, what's wrong with you, honey? Do you need to pull over? She needs some water. Yeah. And it just goes on and on. I think that would be hilarious.
I wanted that. That's what I wanted, but I don't want to be another app on the phone. So time will come.
You should do it. Like we should have a thing. We should have a thing where we don't tell people, but like we go, it's a Beacon House sponsored event to like go around and look at Christmas lights, and nobody knows, but Grace Steele has like these things on, and so we're like, hey, that's a nice tree over there, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, it fucking is a nice tree. Oh, I love lights.
Oh, look at that star!
Is that a reindeer?
Oh, that's so bright.
Like the scene in Wedding Crashers. Do you see Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
And just what your new co-host is weird. To be like, she gets really excited about Christmas, folks.
Santa baby, hurry down my chimney tonight.
Hurry up my chimney.
Put that vibrator on high. And let me slip it inside.
You know, one time for our Valentine's Day episode, we had a girl who works at a sex shop out on Lovell Road.
That's a good one.
She was going to come here and tell us all these crazy stories about the people that come in there.
My ex used to work at a sex shop.
Dude.
I know
some
stories.
She couldn't, the day of, she couldn't make it. But when I approached her about being a guest on the show to tell us all the stuff that, like, she said all kinds of weird stuff happens there. Like people, like they're open weird hours. So people, she said one guy was like, he called on the phone and was like, can I buy your socks? And she's like, what do you...
I believe it.
Yeah, and he goes, no, the ones you're wearing right now. I want to buy them. And she was like, for how much? And he offered her some crazy, like $100 or something. And she was like,
Sure.
fuck yeah, dude. He goes, but I don't want you to see me. I want you to leave them outside. And all this crazy stuff like that. So you get like that. Those shops aren't just a magnet for like nice, healthy, sexually adjusted adult couples. Like it's for the people that live out where the buses don't run.
I mean, you have to think about it. And we talked about it a little bit on our last podcast. Kinks.
They say
there's a lot of kinks. And the number one, when at this time, when my ex worked at a specific store on a specific time or whatever, I don't know if it's now, he said that the porn that he sold the most out of, that people came in to get the most, was transgender.
Trans porn.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
That was like, he sold more transgender porn to males than any other porn in the store.
Fucking A. And that would be guys that are transitioning or have
no,
transitioned.
It didn't matter. It was like women who had transitioned.
Just trans, period.
Yeah, trans.
Interesting.
Or like girls who had transitioned, or guys who had transitioned into girls but still have their penis having sex with men.
Yeah.
Or like things like that. Like And it was like a thing, which I guess is hot because I've listen, I'm just sexual and I get curious about things. Does not mean that I am into it, but I've totally checked that shit out.
I mean, you got it. You're either open-minded or you're not. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those where like everything matters or nothing matters. But that's interesting. Sadly, we never got to have her on. Maybe we can find a sex shop worker to come on and talk to us about what people do in the wee hours of the night, like the phone calls they get and stuff. And I mean, I've been in sex shops. I've seen people in there shopping for stuff, you know.
I love sex shops.
Yeah, dude.
I used to be super nervous in them.
Really?
Like looking around, like buying, like I remember like years and years ago, just being weird. Just being like, is that guy a creep? Like, is he looking at what I like? Oh, this is weird. I'm putting that back. Like something like that. Now it's like I walk in and I'm like, can I have a basket, please? And I'm like,
I brought some friends to help me carry all my stuff.
Nipple clamps. You
guys got any sales going on? Fucking Grace Steele coming through. Grace Steele sounds like the name of a vibrator.
It sounds like a porn star name.
Bro, you could have your own signature series. You could be rich.
Yeah, but that's not a dream of mine.
No, that's fair.
See, I just like having sex for my own pleasure. And I'm really just, I am a very sexual person, but you would think like I'm out here just like having sex. Or when I do have a person that I sleep with, I'm just sleeping with them a shit ton. No, that's not it. I mean, it is it, but it's not it. That's not it, because I'm not just sleeping with a bunch of people and like looking at my knocks off. Like if I have like one person that I want to sleep with.
My impression of you, and this is after talking about this stuff for a couple episodes, like you just seem like somebody that's very comfortable with their own sexuality, which is kind of, I feel like, where people want to get.
I'm very comfortable in my own sexuality. Sorry, I'm eating a chocolate chip cookie from Zaxby's. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm about to have, she brought me one too, guys. So I'm about to also have a chocolate chip cookie from Zaxby's. And the moral of this story for everybody is that it turns out crazy girl brain isn't just crazy girls. It's because guys do stupid shit to make women feel crazy. So let's all accept a little bit.
What's that? Huh? What's that?
Hey, honey, I need to talk to you about something serious. Oh, yeah. And the car goes down the road. Oh, hey, focus, you dumbass. Oh, that's us. Oh, so yeah, let's all accept a little responsibility for the what we call crazy girl.
We all have to take responsibility.
Yeah, and 100%. More. I want to go back to what you said. Everybody, if you guys take anything away from this episode, remember what Grace had to say about look them right in the eye and tell them how important they are. That's a big deal. I don't know any human being that wouldn't appreciate that along some lines.
Yeah, I think just say it. Even and it makes you vulnerable. Your partner is going to see that you're being vulnerable, and it's not just the words that you're saying that makes them feel good. It's knowing that this person's putting themselves in a situation that might make them uncomfortable.
Yeah,
saying it, and it's a good thing.
Like it's the bravery it takes to become vulnerable, like letting your defenses down. They really see, like, I think that, I mean, there's an obvious analogy where like the armor comes off and you see what's underneath. It's like that psychologically. It's like that when you tear all your bullshit apart, they get to really see you. You know,
but you can't be toxic and not be a safe place.
Explain
I know
more.
people. I've heard people or friends of mine that they've dated, and like they tell them like where they're vulnerable, and they tell them how they feel, and then the person immediately is like, "Well, you do this," and it's like, "Well, that's how you get the person to shut down." Like, don't be an asshole.
Oh, you've got to be receptive, like the right
you
way.
need to be receptive. Do not be toxic. Don't take that and run a mile with it. They're giving you something that's important. It might be a small package, but you need to accept it and hear it and understand that they're not just saying it to make you feel good. They're saying it because they want to say it.
And the guys, I want to add to that. That's a fucking awesome point, and I want to add to that too. Guys are extremely bad about explaining or fixing. Like if somebody's like, I don't want to say breaking down, but if somebody's revealing to you, if they're being like vulnerable to you, don't like start trying to fix their problem or, well, all you have to do is this. Well, you should do that. And don't like explain it away and like, well, just listen to them.
Goes back to our first podcast.
Yeah.
Just shut up. Give me a hug.
Give me a
Don't fix it. Don't fix it.
And I want to say something else too. We talked about pride, and if you're having an argument or something, pride, and that you just need to get to the apology. I'd like to add something to that too, is if you're really going to give somebody that you care about an apology, don't ruin an apology with an explanation. Don't go, I'm sorry. See, what happened is you were like, you came at me and then it like, just fucking say, hey, I'm really sorry.
No buts.
Yeah.
No buts. Nothing. Your apology is you apologizing for yourself and for them. It's not an explanation. Don't give a but, because the but and an explanation wipes out your apology. That shit can go in the trash.
Yeah, it makes you sound like you just
I will
said,
ball that up and be Kobe Bryant and whoosh.
Fucking net.
I will fucking throw that apology right in the
Curry.
trash.
Fucking, yeah, it just makes it sound like you said, I'm sorry, to get their attention so that you could argue a little more.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit. Just say, yeah, I'm really sorry. And leave it at that. And if you need to go vent, then that's when you call your stupid friends. Why'd
you do that? That makes no sense.
And the girls can do that. Like, girl, you would not believe what he did.
I have people who want to be guests on here so bad.
I do too. And so we might ought to start lining up a couple of guests.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I wanted to get a couple under my belt. Let's see. But I have people who are like wanting to come on.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It'd be fun.
It is fun to have to, because obviously we have great chemistry and great energy. But when you have another person, then you can bounce stuff off, and you can also react. Like if you're asking the questions back and forth, I can chime in and kind of be like, that's fucked up. Like you blah, blah. And you could be the peanut gallery or whatever. And you can chime in. Like it gets really funny. So,
that would be exciting.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, and you can say whatever, because we can edit it. You can go, hey, shut up. You're talking too much, or what, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff can be cut around. But yeah, okay. Well, Grace, it's a pleasure talking to you again, and always. You guys, let Grace know. Hit us up on social media. Let her know how valuable her advice is, and use that shit in your own fucking relationships.
Yeah, man, it will help.
Yeah, dude.
Tons. The sex will get better. Feelings will be better. You don't have to deal with crazy girl brain.
Until the next time it happens. But you'll be armed with the tools.
Oh, God. Wait till they're on their period.